Billiards, pool or snooker, whatever your game, the table must be just right. All these games are played on a slate tabletop, covering a wooden frame. For pool, the table measures around 2.5 metres long and 1.2 metres wide. And that's our cue to begin. Clients order these pool tables much like they would custom-designed furniture. They pick the style, colours, type of wood and its lacquer and stain. The tables come in maple, walnut, mahogany, cherry and the most popular, oak. Here, a computer-guided machine shapes part of the table's frame. This machine's rotating heads perform several different tasks. A profiling head carves the angle of part of the frame. A routering head creates the table's decorative grooves. And a drilling head makes holes for bolts to fit through. 6 wooden rails will surround the playing surface. They have diamond-shaped carvings that will act as visual markers for the players. The rails are sprayed with glue before 18 metal nuts are inserted. They'll be used later to secure rails to the playing surface. Rubber strips are attached along the rails, which are just over 1 metre long. The rails then pass through a press twice to ensure the rubber adheres. Next, the rails are moved along this 9 metre long sanding machine. Rubber wheels gently grip each rail as presses rub sandpaper along the edge and top. They don't bother with the underside as this will be covered. The rails are passed through this sander several times to smooth them down. To make sure everything fits, the 4 sides and the middle section of the frame's base are pre-assembled. 20 metal bolts and 20 nuts are used to join them. 8 wooden dowels are inserted in order to align the table parts correctly. Each section of the frame is stamped with a number to ensure they can be reassembled later with ease. Next, glue is added to 18 mother-of-pearl pieces called sights. They're fitted into the carvings on the rails, which have now been stained to the desired shade. Each one is tapped into place using a hammer and a block made of synthetic resin. This method prevents the rail from getting damaged. The rubber part of each rail is lined with cloth made of wool and nylon. It's attached with a plastic strip that fits over the cloth and into a groove. The cloth is stapled to the other side of the rail. A zinc and brass plaque displays the brand name. After shipping, the table is reassembled in its new home. Serial numbers ensure the parts belong to the same table. The numbered parts are matched together and assembly takes about 2 hours. The table is levelled using metal components to adjust its height. It's like sticking a matchbox under an uneven table leg. Now comes the really heavy lifting. The 3 slate sections of the table's top are fitted. The sections are attached to the frame with 12 screws. They're levelled using wedge-shaped plastic shims between the slate and the frame. Next, wax is melted over the cracks between the sections. The playing surface is smoothed out using a scraper. The remaining holes will be covered by rails later on. After the wax dries, the table's surface is covered with cloth. The cloth is trimmed in the corners, so there will be no creases in the lining of the pocket holes. The cloth is stapled to wooden strips under the slate. Next, the cloth is pierced over holes in the slate so the rails can be attached later. The 6 pockets are 15 centimetres deep and consist of a metal frame covered with a leather lattice. 18 threaded metal rods are installed underneath the rails. Nuts are used to secure the rods in place, and screws attach the pockets. These tables don't come cheap, but whether you're a novice or a seasoned hustler, if you pool your resources, then you might just about afford one.